following is an exclusive presentation of Jessup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
World famous. The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country Radio, Thursday morning, 21st day of January. And Bob, we got a studio full this morning.
Yeah, we're blessed to have the Wayne County High School Drama Department in with us. They've got their big one-act play coming up for the public, and then they're going to be performing it in the region competition on January the 30th up at Coffee County High School. Jason, this is the first time I've seen you since we've entered the new region. What kind of drama departments do these new region teams have?
Well, I'm not familiar with all of them very well. Ware County continued on with us, so I know what Ware County does, and they always do a strong show. Veterans and Warner Robins have hosted state competitions for years, so their programs are well established as well. So I think we're looking at a lot of good shows, a lot of good competition coming up for the region competition. We're going to go and give our best as well, so I think it's going to be a day of 5 good shows for the region on Saturday the 30th.
Well, the great thing, you always put it on for the public here to see it before you head to competition, so there's going to be some performances here beginning on Thursday at the KK Theater. You've got some students with you, so I'll just turn over to you. Tell us what the play is about, what the name of it is, and introduce your students that you brought with us here today.
Okay, our one act this year, which normally we would do in October, it got pushed back because of COVID, so we're doing it now here at the end of January. This year we've chosen a simple, fun little play called The Sidelines by Burton Bumgardner, and we will be doing a public performance on Thursday of next week. That's January 28th. It will be at 7 o'clock there at the high school in the KK Theater. Tickets are $5 each. We are going to be putting COVID restrictions in place, so the audience needs to be aware that they will be expected to wear their masks and social distance and stay in family groups, keep away from other non-family members when they're in the auditorium. But we're just very excited to finally be able to do theater again. The last play we were able to perform was October of 2019, so it's been almost a year and a half since we've been able to do theater, and we've definitely missed it. We were only a week or so away from our spring production last year when COVID shut everything down. So it was very heartbreaking to all the students and of course myself that were involved with that play. So we're just excited to be back and certainly hoping that the community will join us next Thursday. We're doing one public performance that again Thursday of next week, the 28th. And, of course, then competition will be this year. We're not hosting. Normally we host, but this year Coffee County is hosting. So we'll be going over there on the 30th for competition. If we win the region, then we will do another public performance before we go to state. But that all depends on how things go at the competition.
Where's the state meet at?
State meet would be at one of the schools in the Warner Robins area. Okay. They typically try to hold state somewhere near the center of the state geographically.
And this plays a comedy, is that correct?
This is a little comedy. I've read it in my classes before, and the students always enjoy it and say, we've got to do this because this is Jessup.
Yeah, it's about a small town.
It is about a small town. The play basically focuses on 3 different families who are coming to watch the local 4th of July parade in this small town. 2 local families, and then a doctor and his family who have moved in from the big city. And so we see the difference between the people who have grown up in this small town and they know everybody and they kind of know how the town works versus the people from the larger city who are not used to the difference of a small town and the things that the city has to offer that the small town doesn't. The family, to begin with, just really other than the dad, they don't want to be there. The dad is excited about living in a small town, but the mom and kids just don't want to have anything to do with it. Of course, things change throughout the course of the play. A lot of the humor has to do with the characters that we know from a small town and the way that the characters interact. One of the families is headed by a woman who taught English at the high school forever and has recently retired. She knows everybody in the town because she taught them, and we see her daughter and granddaughter who are dealing with her and also dealing with the other characters. We've got kind of a trashy type family who is there that are always doing the things that aren't quite socially acceptable.
Are you talking about rednecks?
In a sense, yeah. And so they're there that give a little comedy with their interactions and reactions. And then, of course, like I said, you've got the family from the big city, as well as a guy who comes back and forth that's just trying to make a little money selling soft drinks. So it's people that I think our audience will recognize, people that they will know from their own life and connections in our small town of Jessup. It's fun. It's easy. One of the reasons I picked this play is that it is very simple, and knowing the difficulties that COVID was going to throw at us this time with our rehearsals, I wanted to make sure we had something that would be easy to rehearse and prepare if we had people coming in and out. And we have had issues where people have had to miss rehearsals, or we've had some changes we've had to make because of COVID issues. So I will say I'm very proud of the students for how they've worked through those issues and done very well with it. And other things that have come up is the fact that we had a 3-week break in the middle of this when we had Christmas, because we normally don't have that in the middle of a play. We normally do one act in October, so we rehearse in September and October and perform around Halloween without a break in there. But this year, Christmas was in the middle, but the students did a great job of remembering their lines and movements and being ready to go right back into it when we got back in January.
Yes, a lot of folks don't think about that, when you think, drama, I got to remember all those lines, but you got to remember the blocking, too. You got to remember where you move, how you step, what position you're supposed to be in, how you interact with the other person. So not only are you thinking your lines, you're also thinking about your body movements, too.
Right. And in my classes and also in the after-school program, that's what I try to get students to understand, is that your movements are just as important as what you say. I've always said that half of acting is reacting, your facial expressions, your body posture. And so a lot of what we're doing, especially at this point in our rehearsal, is tweaking those little appearances of how students are reacting to other people's lines, and the facial expressions they're using, the timing of when things are said, to take it from that good level to the great level, to that level that's going to be competitive when we go next Saturday to Coffee County. And the students are really good about taking that direction and making those changes.
Okay. Now, you brought 4 students in with you this morning, and let's introduce them and their names and their characters they played.
Well, I tried to bring a kind of a sampling across the board of the people that are involved. So we'll start with the person sitting right here beside me, who is on my right, and she really is my right hand in this performance. I always have a student stage manager who is in charge of everything backstage and on stage. I can't be everywhere at once when I'm directing. A lot of times I'm up in the light booth working on lights and sound, or I'm out in the auditorium watching the show and making notes to help the students prepare. And so I need somebody backstage who is going to take charge back there, keep everybody in line, make sure everything's going smoothly. And my stage manager this time is Alyssa Stevens, and she's done a great job with that, especially since the stage manager is also kind of the universal fill-in for anybody who has to miss a rehearsal. And with a lot of the issues we've been facing, Alyssa has had to play a lot of different characters this time through, but she's done a great job with it. So Alyssa Stevens is my stage manager.
Are you the drill sergeant backstage? Is that what?
Basically, yes. I do handle most of the happenings backstage, and where people are supposed to be and when they're on time, and where props are supposed to be as well. And so I take care of things backstage so the director can focus on other things during the rehearsal or performance.
Okay, who are your parents?
Brian and Holly Stevens.
And what year are you in?
I'm a senior in high school.
All right, big senior. Graduation coming up in a few months.
Yes, sir.
And tell us how long you've been involved with the drama department at Wayne County High School.
Well, I transferred to Wayne County High School my junior year, and I immediately joined a drama class and then tried out for the after-school program. And that was the fall of 2019. I did makeup. And in the spring that year, I got one of the leading roles in the production we were supposed to do, but it got canceled due to COVID. And this year, I am stage manager, and I'm so excited to be back working on the stage, be back in the theater, and work with this cast, because they are honestly a great group of people to work with.
Okay, where'd y'all move in from?
We lived here before.
Okay.
And then we moved to Camilla, Georgia, out in the middle of nowhere. But we came back.
Another small town.
Yes. My mom opened Physical Therapy and Balance Center. So
Okay. Oh,
we
it's
came
physical
back.
therapy. She opened that up. Okay,
Yes,
well,
sir.
good. And so you've had to learn different characters, too, just in case you had to stand in for someone?
I have. I've had a script reading for them that I learned their positions, their blocking, so during rehearsal I'm not in the way or causing problems for the ones who are in their characters and know what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
She says she has a script, and she does, but she's actually off script almost as much as the standard cast. She's done an excellent job when she has to fill in, whether it's filling in for a smaller role or a larger role, or even sometimes she's had to fill in for male roles. She's done a great job with whatever I've had to throw at her.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to the next.
Well, one of the first families in the story that comes in is the Kennedy family, and they are the grandmother, mother, and daughter who have lived in the town the whole time. And I brought the daughter along with us, and her the actress's name is Zoe Chavis, and she's been with me for several years and does a great job. Very believable as Jessica, the daughter here, who in a sense is a little embarrassed to be seen with her grandmother, who's talking to everybody she knows. And then she also is, of course, as a teenager, a little strained relationship with her mother, but that's not helped by the fact that her mother's character is very bitter over a divorce that's happened. And so Zoe has done a great job with connecting into that character and portraying that teenage girl who really just wants to do her thing and not be stuck at this parade with her mother and grandmother.
Okay, tell us how long you've been involved with the drama department at Wayne County High School.
Well, I took the class my first semester in 9th grade, and I loved it. I knew that I would want to be in the later classes, the advanced classes, and then it wasn't until 10th grade that I actually tried for an after-school play, and I got a part in the competition.
Okay.
In my first semester, 10th grade.
And what year are you now?
Senior.
Senior. And who are your parents?
I live with my aunt and uncle, Terry and David Warnock, and my daddy, Tommy Chavis.
Okay. And once again, from your perspective, describe your character.
Well, I think he got it right on the nose, but I'm embarrassed to be there with my grandmother. She's just yelling at everybody and talking to everybody, and my mom's really bitter, and I don't really want to be around her. And the whole time, I'm really just bored. You know, I'm supposed to...
Just bored at the small town parade, huh?
Yes, it's boring. I've seen it a million times. I mean, I've been there since I was little, right? So, so I'm just bored with it. I mean, that's who I play.
And so who do you interact with in the play? I know it's going to be your grandmother and mom. Anyone else?
Yeah, there's a character I'll interact with later on, and we become friends. You know, it's unlikely. You wouldn't see it happening because we didn't get along in the first place, like in the beginning, but we get along towards the end.
All right. Sounds good. Jason, anything else?
No. Zoe does a great job. I'm glad to have her. It's been nice to work with her the past 4 years, and so many of 3 of the 4 I brought are seniors, so they've been with me for a while. But we'll move on to the next person who is in that sort of trashy family that comes in next. And that's, again, a father, a mother, daughter, and son. And I brought the son with us. And he is definitely one of the most comedic characters. You never know what this character is going to do. Has no social graces, doesn't really know how to interact with people properly. Always wants attention from the girls, but doesn't know how to get it, so he just yells out at them all the time. But also a lot of other random activity that he's doing, and the character of Junior is played by Clark Chan, who does a fantastic job with it. He keeps us laughing in rehearsal, and I'm just very excited to have him on board with us again. And so Clark is playing the character of Junior Tranbarger.
Good morning, Junior.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm really doing. I'm really
all right. Well, did you have to stretch for this part, or did it come natural?
It kind of came naturally. I was like going for like 3 characters, like
the expression in the girl's eyes when.
and then like that one just came, I guess.
All right. And from your perspective, describe your character.
He's like out there. I'd say that he's not really normal. He kind of wants to be like his father, and his father is just like, whatever with you. And
Just good old South Georgia rednecks, huh?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, we can all identify with that.
And just watching the parade and yelling at the girls there because I'm just like, hey, you want to be my girlfriend? And of course it's like, no. And
that approach don't work.
It never. I don't know why.
I don't know either. Yeah. I tried when I was in high school. It didn't work.
There you go.
Doesn't work for junior either.
Doesn't work for junior either, huh? All right. And so you're having fun. What year are you this year?
I am 11th grade. Junior.
11th grade. So you're the 11th grade. So you got another year of the drama. You going to stay with it?
I'm going to stay with it, and I get to see all my friends go.
We have a lot of seniors this year. We really do in the program. But we also have a lot of talent in the 11th, 10th, 9th grades. We've had some new folks come in this year that haven't done theater with us that are just jam up, great actors and actresses. So while I'm enjoyed working with these that are so strong that I've had for years, I'm also excited about the new talent that's come in.
Okay. How many total cast members do you have in this play?
This play has 12 in the cast, and then we've got about 13 working with us in crew. I'd say probably about half of those are actually seniors this year.
Wow.
But like I said, we've got some new folks on stage. We've got some new folks backstage that have chosen to join us, and everybody has stepped up and is doing a fantastic job.
What are y'all going to have to move out and make room for our fourth cast member? So whoever that is, I like him. He's a gentleman. He's the one that got up and let the ladies sit there.
That's right.
Okay.
And that actually kind of ties in with the character. The last person I brought us from that final family, the Jennings family, who has moved to the small town from New York City.
So he's the Yankee.
And he is the outsider. And this is the character of John Jennings, who is a doctor who has moved to the small town and wants his family to enjoy the benefits of living in a small town versus a big city, but his family just really isn't interested. They'd rather have all the stuff that the city has to offer. So there's some conflict there. And John just really wants everybody to get on board with him and enjoy this small town, and that leads to a lot of conflict within the family. The character is nuanced, but it's played very well by Alex Collins, and I'm glad to have him with us today.
Good morning, Alex.
Hi.
All right, who are your parents?
My parents are Kip and Jenny Collins.
All right, so you play an adult.
Oh, yeah, it's hard.
You got to act mature, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't come naturally.
Doesn't come naturally?
I gotta tell you that. No.
So describe your character from your perspective.
Well, basically, he's a father who comes from a big city, so they're big city people, used to, big buildings, everything's locally, you can go anywhere you want to. But whenever we come down to this town, for some reason, unknown to me, for some reason, he loves this small town and wants to stay here and wants to live like all these other small town people. But his family is not having it.
It sounds like Green Acres.
Oh,
In a sense, it's a little bit like that.
But yeah, he's just trying to get them on board, and they won't budge. So I'm just trying to enjoy it, but kind of realize a little bit farther on that it might not be as good as I brought it up to be.
Oh, so you might have stretched the pleasantry of a small town. Huh?
Very big stretch.
Very big stretch.
Yes.
Now, who do you interact with in the play?
Well, mostly just my family, my wife, Susan, and my children, Megan and Josh. But I do at the very end interact with the grandmother, Miss Kennedy. And she kind of a little bit, but not very much. But mainly I just interact with my family most of the time.
Okay, well, good. And you're a senior this year at Wayne County High School.
Yes, sir.
All right. Sounds good. Jason, anything else from your players that you'd like for them to expand on?
Not really. The students are here to kind of give folks a taste of what's coming and to hear from their perspective of what it's like to do theater. I'm always proud of my students. They work so hard and they're committed to giving their best to the program. It's a joy and an honor for me to work with them. So I'm glad to have them with us today to share their perspectives on things, and just certainly look forward to the community coming out Thursday of next week on January 28th at 7 o'clock to see our play, The Sidelines.
Okay, and just to let folks know, you're supposed to wear your mask.
Wear a mask.
And you're going to have social distancing for families that, your immediate family, of course, you can sit next to, but you're going to have spacing between them and other folks.
Right. We have roped off every other row in the auditorium so that the seats are spaced out. And then part of those 13 people I mentioned that are working on crew with us, we have our ticket and usher girls who they're going to help folks find seats that maintain that social distance so that we're trying to keep everybody safe but still allow people to enjoy theater really for the first time in over a year in Wayne County. So I'm excited that we're back with that. So all those COVID safety precaution measures will be in place, but we want folks to come out and enjoy it. It's a simple show. It's about 40 to 45 minutes long. You'll have some laughs. You'll get a chance to relax a little bit and enjoy some theater.
And that's great. You know, a lot of folks, you know, I mentioned to you beforehand, I'm getting tired of living like a hermit. This is a way to get out and go and enjoy local talent, laugh, have a good time, but still be in a situation where, you know, you feel somewhat safe because you have your mask on, social distancing. And so that would be a great place for folks to go so y'all can get that final tune-up before you head to region competition.
Exactly. People may not realize just how important putting this thing in front of a live audience is for getting us prepared, especially with a comedy, because I always tell the students the audience will never laugh where you expect them to laugh, and they will laugh where you don't expect them to laugh. And the students are nodding. They know it's true. There's lines that we think are just so funny, and then it's crickets out there in the audience when that line happens. But then there's something that we've just gone past in rehearsal over and over again, and the audience cracks up, and you're just not expecting that. So putting it in front of a live audience and getting to practice reacting to the audience's response is very important for our students to know when they need to pause and wait to start a line. And there's no way to do that without a live audience. So having that a couple of days before we go to competition is going to be very valuable.
And once again, just in case someone just tuned in, tell us what's going on, the name of the play, when it's going to be, all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, it's our region competition one-act play, The Sidelines by Burton Bumgarner. Public performance will be Thursday, January the 28th at 7 o'clock at the K. Cagle Theater at Wayne County High School. Tickets are $5 each. Social distancing and masks are in place. And we really look forward to the community coming out and supporting us once again and enjoying some theater here in Wayne County.
All right, 1 week from today, January 28th, and it starts at 7 p.m. at the K. Cagle Theater there at Wayne County High School. Everyone's invited to come. $5 will help out tremendously with the drama department expenses and get them prepared to go to region competition that weekend over in Coffee County.
That's right.
And seats are first come, first serve.
Seats are first come, first serve, and with the social distancing, that does mean people are going to be spread out a little more throughout the auditorium. So we'll open the doors about 6:30. So people can start coming in and be ushered in there by our crew members. So if you want the best seats, get there a little early.
In all the years that you've been leading the drama department, have you ever done sidelines before?
No, this is our first time.
Yeah, I didn't remember it.
No, we've read it in my drama classes, and as I said, the students, every time we would read it, there's like, we've got to do this play. It's so much like Jessup. So it's one that I've wanted to do, but this is the first time we've actually performed it for the public.
I kind of can relate to this play because when I was 14 years old and ninth grader, I had grown up all my life in Jacksonville, Florida. All my family was down there, both sides, mom and dad's side, tons of family down there. I just grew up around family and friends in Jacksonville. And then suddenly Dad came in one day in August of 1968 and says, we're moving to Jessup, Georgia. Now, we had some friends here, so I've been here before, but only 2 or 3 times visiting these friends. And I didn't want to come. I'll move in with Grandma and Granddaddy Hubbard. I'll move in with Grandma and Granddaddy Ride. Blah, 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 blah. I didn't want to. I got 3 brothers and sisters of the 4 siblings. I was the one who didn't want to come. Okay? Guess who's the one who moved back here and stayed here?
You're the one still
after
here.
College. I'm the one that's still here, and the rest of them are somewhere else because I love Jessup. Yeah.
You remind me a lot of some of the characters that we have in this play. The doctor's son and daughter are that exact same situation. They're from the big city. They don't want to come to the small town, but by the end of the play, they've kind of changed their tune.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see the play. I'm sure it's going to be good. Is it harder to put on a comedy or a drama?
There are challenges both ways. Comedy, your biggest challenge is timing. Because you want to make sure you're saying the lines in a way that really delivers that comedic punch. And if you get your timing off, it's not as funny as it should be. But with a drama, you really have to work on connecting to the emotions of the audience and pulling out those deep and more difficult emotions that are critical to the enjoyment of a drama. So there are challenges both ways. Every director has kind of their own personal preference. I will say comedy is what I feel like I'm a little better at with directing. I can do a drama, but really comedy is my forte as a director. And really with our students, I could throw anything at them and they could handle it. They've done very well with drama. They've done very well with comedy. So I'm very proud of them. But there are challenges, different challenges for each type.
Now, normally, as you mentioned, normally this one-act competition play is done during the fall. And then you have another performance during the spring. Are y'all going to have another one?
We are trying to do another one. It's going to be a quick turnaround for us. Like I said, normally this competition one act is done at the end of October, and then we have a good break until we normally start the spring play in February. Well, this year we're doing this one now here at the end of January. We're going to take February off and then start again the last week of February, first week of March with a spring production to try to do it at the very end of April. And we haven't fully decided exactly what we're going to do yet, but we're going to try to do something that, again, the community will enjoy, and hopefully, COVID will have loosened up a little bit by that point, and we can really get into it, and the audience can enjoy some more theater here in Wayne County, and we can try to get back on track.
All right, sounds good. Wishing y'all the best in the competition, and I'm sure y'all represent Wayne County real well over in Coffee County, not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Well, thank you. We are going to do our best.
All right, Bob, any other comments for our
Just
cast?
appreciate y'all coming in, and best of luck. Look forward to next Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, y'all take care. I know y'all anxious to get to school, so you can get out of here and go to school. You can't stay. Got to go get that learning now. All right, Bob, anything else this morning? All right. World famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Local Boys Construction, First Southern Bank, Murphy Builder Supply, and Damon's Famous Fingers and Wings.
World famous Butch and Bob Show.